Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, not with an F124 setup guide. Yes, I finally found some time to get back on to iRacing for the big one. It's time for the Indy500. Yes, one of the crown jewel events in motorsport. I've done this race over the last few years and I've had very, very mixed success. I'm going to get the elephant out of the room straight away. I'm on pole, not because I qualified well or anything like that. It was simply just because this split had no one that obviously had set times earlier in the week. So I've really got no idea as to what to expect as we come into this race. As always, 200 laps. I just want to try and survive as best as possible, and we'll see where we end up. But of course, if you're new around here, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well. We're trying to hit 10,000 subs on the channel at the moment. More iRacing content will be coming back as well in the future, of course, as we get ready, obviously with F124 with all those setups slowing down. But yeah, pace car obviously doesn't come in. Oh, there we go, he does come in this lap, so we now control the pace, so I get to go, I think, whenever I like, which is wonderful news. So we're going to go about there, I think. And there we go, we've got a good jump. I mean, it's completely irrelevant. It does not matter what I do off the start, because things are going to change very, very quickly here, so obviously got to be really, really careful with the tyres as we try and get them up to temperature. And I expect to see a caution on lap 1, if I'm being completely honest. Already just feel the back end sliding around ever so slightly underneath me. I'm really not worried about trying to stay at the front for too long early on, but I think everyone else is going to be fuel saving as well. So we're just going to try and take it really, really gentle. For those of you that think this is just driving in a circle for 2.5, 3 hours, give it a go, is all I'm going to say as well. This thing is really, really intense, really, really difficult. And yeah, I've never won the Indy 500 either, so I'm hoping, you never know, today could be that day. Not holding my breath, though, by any stretch. This race, hopefully, is going to take less than 4 hours. But who knows? I mean, you guys would know, based on how long the video is. It's going to take longer than I'd hoped. Instantly, we get a caution, so no real point in pitting. Obviously, we're just going to stay out there. Try and extend this first stint a little bit further, if we can. But, yeah, what I'll do is all the cautions I'll just remove from the edit. So the video might end up being 40 minutes long if we just end up with cautions every other lap. And getting ready then to hopefully go green again here. Maybe this time around we can get a bit of a better restart. Don't know. Oh, it's single file. That's quite interesting then. Trying to just control the pace. And we'll go again. Oh, I should have put it in first gear, I think. That was a terrible restart by me. I mean, it's nice that we've got a few laps led under our belt, but certainly not the restart I wanted. Again, I'm not really too worried. Like I said, there's no point worrying about leading laps inside basically the first 190. That is more annoying, though. We got another one. Love that. This is desperately why I need, like, at least 3,000 oval rating. I just need to get on the grind, because I mean, it doesn't get much better higher up, but this is basically what it is. Well, this time around, then, I'm going to try and do a better job at keeping my speed consistent. I noticed last time around I scrubbed off just a little bit more than I probably ought to. And obviously don't really want to upset everyone behind me, as we're about to go green again then. Let's do this thing. Let's roll it. Why did I forget to launch in first gear again? Do I just need to start at a slightly higher speed? I don't know. Either way, let's see how long we go green this time round for then. Maybe we'll get, you know, more than 2 laps under our belt, but I'm not holding my breath. I mean, we've led this thing since the start. I wonder now if Franceschi's going to try and look for something. No, he's happy just to sit in. Clearly just wants some slipstream early on. Save on the fuel mileage. Can't blame him. It's not a bad strat. But, I mean, yeah, when you're 10 laps into the race, you know, I would say really kind of within the final 60 laps or so, that's when you start worrying about the fuel. Really only the kind of final 50 laps or so, I would say. Because really from there, obviously, depending on what happens with cautions, you can...
Alexander, 42.7. That lap was a 43.2. That's your best lap in this session.
Yeah, obviously, if you're getting cautions inside the final 50 laps, then you're kind of looking at, can I go to the end from here? And there's obviously everyone behind me is going to be going slightly quicker. So obviously we all just kind of close back in. I'm blending the throttle into the corner just to try and make sure that we don't cause any over-rotation in the rears. Of course, you have got to nurse the tyres as well a little bit here. And obviously, you know, you've just got to be smooth. That's the big thing as well. We're actually going to get 2 laps clean under our belt, though. Still, Franceschi is happy to sit back.
That's your best lap in this session. The guy behind has just done a 41.3.
I'm happy to lead this thing early on, especially as he almost puts himself in a wall. Might get a little bit of slipstream off the car in front, which would be nice. Hopefully he's not going to try and fight me too much for it. Makes his way back out of the pit lane. Don't obviously really want to go for anything into the corners. Always for me, whenever you kind of line up a car like that early on or late on in the day, I just always still think of J.R. Hildebrand. That's all I can ever think about when he was going to win this race. And then stacked it on the final corner of the final lap. Although, wants to get out of the way, which is good. Big blender throttle that time around as we just got a little bit too pinched in the apex. Can't help but feel, though, Paul trying to scrub off that much and let everybody by is not going to be ideal. There is going to be checkups a little bit further back. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see another caution pretty soon. Looks like myself and Francesco might just have a little bit of a breakaway. Maybe Paul there causing some problems. But of course, yeah, we do get to control the pace being at the front of the field. Yeah, I don't think we're quite going to be able to break free, though. Unfortunately, Luca's still right there. Like I said, it is all irrelevant. Completely irrelevant early on. But it is just interesting to think about as well. I mean, when I say I'm blending through the corner, it feels a lot more than it probably actually is in the car. But it is just trying to keep that rear stability as we just build up a bit of confidence, see how the car's feeling underneath me. Everything like that. Would be nice if we could actually get some green flag running. I mean, already, it says a lot when we've done 5 laps, and it feels like a decent stint. I really do wish more of these races, you know, did run a bit cleaner. But that's the nature of the beast. It's also the nature of being a sub 2k oval rating driver still. I actually got up to like 2.2k at one point when I was doing NIS. And then just had like a string of, I think it was 3 disconnects. And unfortunately, yeah, it absolutely screwed me, which was a real shame. And then I kind of just got slumped back into iRating purgatory, it feels like. So, I know obviously IRL, you want to move away from the walls down the straights. I don't think that's the case, though, in iRacing. If it is, it certainly doesn't make as much of a difference. But I actually find that you need to scrub off slightly more speed by trying to get away from the wall. So obviously as well, I know what some of you are going to be asking, because obviously
41.4. Good lap. That's your quickest today.
You'll have heard obviously IndyCar, the car always wants to go left. It's not very prominent on iRacing. In fact, it's pretty much straight. It's only, yeah, it is, I think, pretty much bang on, as we do not want to pick up 0x's like that too often. You'll only get away with nudging the wall a few times. Of course, it's a bit like a Formula 1 car and, you know, open wheel, that kind of thing. So it will not take much damage. It's not like a stock car that you can really throw around and hit other people or anything like that. Any kind of wheel tracking that's out by enough, it will just be instant meatball and your day's over. So you have got to be really, really careful. It's so easy to do. You know, these cars, though. I have so much kind of respect for IndyCar drivers. Absolute nutcases. But, you know, fair play to them, because even going around here on a sim feels scary. I've never even done it in a VR, but it just feels scary going around here in these kind of conditions. Don't know why I left it in 6th. We need that kick down. When you go up into 6th gear, it only cuts 300 revs out of the engine. These things are geared absolutely ridiculously. But we're topping out at nearly 360 clicks down the straights. I think I've got actually under my relative on the left-hand side. What that is, I think I've got it in Church of England over there. Yeah, we do. So we're doing over 220 down the straight still, and we got another one. We'll blend off the throttle. Do I pit now? We got 10 gallons of fuel, half a tank. No, I don't think so yet. Not worth it. Well, so far this race then, we're not even averaging a lap a minute, but we are about to go green once again then. Obviously, we have seen a load of drivers into the pits as well, so going to be interesting to see how things square up now. So we're going to try and go again. Oh, you can definitely launch this thing in first gear. That is ridiculous. I had no idea first gear was that long in this car, or if I did, I had completely forgot. But again, that time we're actually able to get a bit of a springboard then on the guys behind. So if we were in that position with a couple of laps to go, then I would know what we need to do. Is it worth pitting now? I'm just going to stay out there a bit longer. I don't now want to end up in the middle of the pack if I can avoid it. This is really, really fun. Well, perhaps rather stupidly then, I actually decided to pit under that last caution. There's a guy called Zach in this race who actually messaged me before we started, basically asking if I was me. I saw he was about to go a lap down, so I pit to try and make sure he stayed on the lead lap, and unfortunately I think he might be out of it. So, Zach, I'm so sorry if that has been the case. But it was a pleasure racing with you, albeit only temporarily, my friend. So yeah, we restart now down in P18. That's not helpful.
Let's go.
And let's see then how things are stacking up. What on earth is that? Yeah, that's going to be... How is that not a caution? Obviously, you cannot overtake before you get to the green flag. Oh, that car feels super sketch.
He's still there.
I think, yeah, there's other drivers with various issues, or less confidence, or just not awake, or I don't know what that was all about. But somehow we've actually survived that restart. Now, obviously, I just want it to go as long as possible green. Because obviously other drivers then will have to pit, as that is a sick retro Williams livery from the late 90s, I believe, on the guy in front. That is so cool. Oh, yeah, you notice the understeer more in these conditions. There's someone else into the pit lane then. That might be a drive-through. Yeah, this is why I wanted to do this now, so we could sort of just get some data. Obviously, about kind of being in the draft, and you really need to lift off, don't you? Wowee. That is so sketchy. You got no bite through the front. Cold tyre as well. I mean, we had to slow down there to 200 miles an hour. We did not get the line right. So here will come John. So I've got no interest in really fighting people early on.
Clear inside.
He's just going to back out of it before I did. Oh, yep, there's that gone. That is gutted, mate. Hopefully he might be able to do another one today or something like that and stand a better chance. Unfortunately for me, yeah, this is the only one I can do. So we've got to see what we can muster up here. Obviously just want to survive as best as possible. Oh, that guy behind me. I think a little bit more confident there in turn one than I was. Oh, come on. One-handed through turn 2 at 205 miles an hour here at Indianapolis. You don't get to say that very often. Ugh. I mean, what is this concertinaing up? I'm just trying to stay out of trouble, but I'm not convinced Matt and John behind are so happy to do so. Let's not try and get a run on these three out of the final turn. Foot to the floor. We've just got to go for it.
Car outside. Still there. You're clear outside. B12. Your lap time
that was scary.
42.3.
I had to send it. I just did not want to be behind those three for much longer. I mean, we've dropped out of the draft of the guys in front. That's how much time we cost. That was... I mean, to do that 30 laps in was probably rather sketchy. But I'm going to take it. And now we just got to try and see if we can close in on the guys in front. Otherwise, I'm not going to be saving any fuel here. Got the confidence now just to keep it pinned. Suddenly now I know how bad the understeer is when you're in traffic. I feel a lot more confident carrying the speed in the car as... I mean, it just looks so insanely fast, doesn't it? Always got a downshift as you make your way into the apexes. Yeah, it is basically 5th or 6th gear. Like I said, I would love to try and get a long run under our belt now. I would love to see us sort of get to, you know, lap 50 or so before we have another caution. As well, that would obviously put pressure on some of the other guys that obviously pit before I did. You know, it is a race of strategies. We are still closing in, actually, so this is good news. So even when you're not really being assisted with the draft, or, you know, you haven't got a drafting partner or anything like that, you can. We are taking a little bit of time. Leader ran a 41.6. We did a 41.2. Doesn't sound like much, but around a track like this, 3/10 is everything. Absolutely everything here. So we can get back in that sort of top gaggle, kind of bring everyone behind me in again. That would be good. So I'm sure we're going to notice it. We might be able to try and go for a cheeky early fastest lap here if we get it timed right. But again, I'm really not going to worry about that. I'm just gutted my lap sled aren't going up anymore. But I've led some, and that's all I really care about. Oh, you see big speed down in towards 1. So you see the slipstream is way more potent. Don't actually know what the fastest time is so far. I would assume it's like a low 40 or a high 39 with a 41.1. So now we're getting, yeah, we're definitely getting back in there. Definitely need to blend the throttle. Oh, guy in front of me scuffs the wall, gets away with it. iRacing will let you get away with it just a little bit, but I certainly wouldn't rely on it. What's this lap going to be?
41.2. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 0.6.
Huge speed down in towards turn 1. 40.8.
Your lap times are improving. This is exactly what we need.
Unfortunately, I can't see my Church of England speed down in the bottom corner. It's actually hidden behind my fan, so I think that was upwards of 230 miles an hour again. As I think, yeah, I mean, we've lost quite a few cars early on. I think we're down to sort of 26, 27 runners. Which, you know, if you kind of get rid of a few of the crash-prone people, by no means am I calling Zach that. He was just caught up in it all. You know, I think it does. People settle down quite quickly. You know, you get a few of the crazies out early on, because obviously they just don't know how to drive or what to expect. And then things do calm down normally pretty quick. If we were to finish here, we'd still gain I rating. Do feel it's a bit harsh being put, you know, as the #1 car in a race like this. Because he basically, you know, unless it's a really sort of high-end split or something like that, basically I've got exactly the same odds as anybody else. I certainly don't come into this thinking, oh, I'm the #1 car, I'm going to win this. I can be going, I'm the #1 car, I'm going to lose 100 I rating. Which is quite sad, but hey-ho. Two in front of me, I think, just had a little bump. Oh, is that guy in the wall? He just, like, saves it. I'm almost going in the wall as we get tucked up in the dirty air. Has he got damage? That car was moving around a little bit. I think he's fine. Of course, the other great thing is when you're in the draft, you can save some fuel as well. You know, because you are blending so much more through the corners. But again, I don't really want to be going for moves down in towards turn 1 unless I'm basically fully alongside at the start-finish line. That's kind of like my rule. You know, I'm sure 5 laps to go, that's going to go out the window, but... so careful not to nick the grass as well, otherwise that is a one-way ticket to the barrier. It's the guy in front almost finds out. Oh. Yeah, 1/6 distance though, which is good. That's normally about 1 tank of fuel. They need a 41.4. We need a 41.6. Yeah, things are definitely just starting to kind of simmer. Everyone's kind of in a position they're happy with, I think, at the moment. I think everyone now, you know, it's you start now thinking about when am I going to have to pit again? What am I going to have to do with fuel? That kind of thing. Oh, guy in front. I don't know whether it's netcode or not. The last one definitely wasn't because he obviously went so high through 2 as well. But obviously you see someone slap the wall in front and you just don't know whether they've actually slapped the wall. I think they were too wide up at the top there, down towards turn 1.
41.2.
Expected to see a hideous fireball explosion at some point soon. I'm happy where I am at the moment. We've got a little bit of a gap to the guy in front. We've got a little bit of a gap to the guy behind. We can save fuel. We can just kind of do our thing. This is important for just racking laps up here. It really, really is critical. You just try and stay out of trouble for as long as you can, as best as you can. They're definitely going too wide into T1.
P12.
So I don't know whether there's some impatience or just some teamwork. Got to be very careful as well, of course, that you don't drop out of the slipstream of the guy in front. Oh, that is... I would not be confident there. Someone needs to dive into the pit lane, though. That's the other thing around here. I really want to try to avoid doing green flag pit stops if I can, because they are horrible. There we go. A couple of cars in. So we're going to be back inside the top 10 then, I believe. So I think that was the two cars that stayed out when I pit. So that's good to know then, that I think actually that time around we did make the right call. Just see how much longer it goes green for, I guess. We've still got half a tank over, so I'm going to be looking a little bit further. I love the fact as well it gives you an MPG reading. 4.3 miles per gallon. Even my car does better than that. My car doesn't do 230 miles an hour, though. Is it worth leaving it in 6th? I can't imagine it makes much difference. What's the MPG going to be this time? 4.53. Maybe it is worth leaving it in 6th.
The lap time was at 41.4.
When we're like this. Obviously just slightly lower RPM. I mean, it is those marginal things at Indy that make all the difference. Come on.
That was a 41.4.
I'm happy with the lap times. I'm happy with the way the tyres feel as well. I mean, the amount of G-forces the tyres go through around a track like this as well is nothing short of crazy. But when are we going to see other drivers in? I'm nudging the brake as well, I've noticed. Don't think that's really going to help much.
The track temperature's rising. It's now 51 Celsius.
Oh, there we go. More in. So we're definitely starting to see a bit of a shuffle.
P8.
How's my MPG looking at? We're floating still around 4.4. That's not bad. If we can get it up to 4.5, then I'd be happy. But ultimately, we've got bigger things to consider at the moment.
Diaz is now in the lead.
Always worries me when you just see a huge puff of smoke with someone going into the pits. Because that's a very easy way for us to end up with a caution.
7. That lap time was 41.4.
Oh, and yeah, coming out of the pit lane as well. At racing speed is
Good
sketch.
consistency. Keep them coming.
Definitely starting to notice a little bit of front end understeer. There's Jorge making his way back out. Hopefully we're going to get rammed him. Thanks for that spotter. Nothing at all. Yeah, I'm going to use 5th. Just dial in the front a bit more. Get that little bit extra bite. I'm sure Jorge's probably going to be quicker than me as well. Fresh tyres, everything like that.
Your last lap time was at 41.5.
So I'm really not worried if he wants to try and go for a send. I'm just going to back out. Could not care less. It does make me wonder, though, how difficult it's been to overtake. I mean, obviously, I know we're not risking it or anything like that early on, but unless I really, really pushed, I'm not sure we would have been able to get past Mikel.
That last lap was a 41.4.
So it does start to make you think, you know, it will be on your mind later on in the race, if we make it that far. You know, kind of, what is the strategy going to be like here? How are things going to pan out? Jorge seems to have no interest though at the moment, right, trying to get around me. And obviously I'm a little bit worried as well that we're going to get undercut, because everyone else is obviously likely going to pit in one big cluster. But actually I say that, the lap times don't seem to be very different, because obviously you can take it pretty much pinned otherwise. Doesn't seem to make that much of a difference.
7th position.
Oh, that was nice. Say, as soon as I said about Mikel, now his tyres seem to be hitting the cliff. You got unlimited sets as well for this race, which I think is a little bit of a shame. Ooh, we've opened up a gap to the guy behind. I don't know, actually, no. Jorge's still there, isn't he? So it's irrelevant. Although they are going side by side. I would assume, yeah, the others are probably going to have to box about lap 50. So we're using just over half a gallon a lap. So we got about 11 more laps in the tank. Might only be 10, actually. So we're going to be able to go to near enough lap 60. If, obviously, we don't end up the caution or anything like that. Actually seems like, yeah, our MPG goes up slightly when we're in the wheel tracks. So I want to see this time around, how much below 5 gallons are we when we cross the line? We were pretty much exactly 5.5 last time. We're now at 4.96, so yeah. We're using about 0.55. So that's alright then. That dials in actually really nicely. Might just be spluttering as we make our way down the pit lane. That means you got everything out of it. I mean, for all we know, this could basically go green to the end. I'm very doubtful, but it could. None of that stage racing or anything like that. Yeah, in NASCAR, this is a serious oval sport. It's every NASCAR viewer I've ever had clicks off, unsubs, gone forever. I think Jorge's going to look for it soon. I'm intrigued though, how far can these guys go? Because I thought they were going to have to box about now. Doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, surely we're going to just see a load of them in one go. Yeah, Mikel is still scaring me with that. I don't actually think he's doing it, but it's still scary. Oh, way overcommitted on the way in. And he's just immediately get halfway through the corner, you're just there going, that might be my day over. But we're up 1/4 distance. That's good.
That lap was a 41.2.
Oh. Could have, you know, made this track a little bit smoother, I feel. It's probably actually just my wheel, but...
You've got about 4 laps of fuel left.
Oh, this is not good. We might actually have to pit with all of these guys. Don't really know. Not sure where he's got 4 laps of fuel from. Definitely doing slightly better than that. Oh, what is that? You just get a wash of understeer occasionally. There we go, that's more like it. 5 laps of fuel makes way more sense.
You've got about 3 laps of fuel left.
Yeah, we're going to start ignoring crew chief, apparently. Why do I continue to enable him? He's constantly wrong about stuff. I'm going to run this time round on Mikel. Not going to go for it, though. Yeah, speeds are slowing down. I believe I've got full tyres, full fuel set up, I want to say. Is someone in? I think we're basically at the point now where if these guys start peeling in, we've just got to join them. Don't think it's really worth it.
E6.
Oh, I forgot to downshift again. Never actually checked whether we have full fuel and tyres set up. Another one in. Yeah, tyres are on. Fuel is good. Wonderful.
P4, only 2 laps of fuel left.
We've actually got 3, but... yeah, so I think actually you don't know where it will start spluttering, do we? Oh, this is where things get really ropey. Cars just coming out, cars diving in. I want nothing to do with it. Yeah, Mikel's in.
Car inside, clear low.
We're going to be back on the podium temporarily. So I think, yeah, this is going to be our box-in lap.
Fuel for this lap.
Hope we're going to see these two in as well.
Coming to the pits at
Oh
the end
yeah,
of this
Alan's
lap.
struggling.
Box this lap.
Try and get him.
Outside. Hold your line, clear high. The guy behind's catching. The gap's now 0.1.
So we're going to see Jonas into the pits. So scary trying to get it scrubbed off, but we did pretty well there. Basically, I'm just using that white line as the marker for where we need to pit. But yeah, Alan in as well. So happy we made that move, so he's got to follow me, not vice versa. The other thing as well I don't know is because we're pit box number 1, I actually think theoretically I can come off the limiter. I don't need it again because I don't think we'll pick up the speed before we go back out. But I'm too scared to risk it, as fuel goes back in insanely quickly in this thing. There we go. So let's see. Foot is flat to the floor. Oh, it's basically, yeah, perfect, isn't it? I'm too scared to risk it, but... oh, I've shifted way too early.
Ouch, is leading the race.
There you go. Jonas in. So you've got to blend through here. I'm going to go for a full lift. No point risking it on pit exit. Not this early on in the day. But that's good then. So there goes Mikel. One more guy will get round me. We'll tuck back in. Now, so you've got to just try and desperately get temperature up. Oh, meant to be on fresh tyres. Meant to have better rotation than this. But apparently not. So it reckons, yeah, you got 33 laps. I genuinely would not care if this went green to the end. I would like that. I would embrace that. Oh, no. Oh, ho, ho. That was our first real... I might have misjudged this. But again, you know, we've got to think about the strategy. Think about the fuel. Got to think about not hitting that wall.
That lap time was 41.6.
Oh, what am I doing at turn 1, man?
That's good consistency. Keep it up.
can't bite too much out of the fronts early on. You've got to just gently bring them in. Otherwise, we're going to feel the pain later on. This is not looking good at the moment. It's looking real nasty. Most importantly, I do think this group basically extends up to the lead, doesn't it? So that's good to know. Do I try and make some moves? Do we just stay put? I don't know. I mean, it's still very, very early on. The last thing, obviously, I want to do is make any enemies, but... .41.3 by the leader. We're going to do 41.7.
41.8.
Crew chief likes to round it up, not down. He makes me feel slow. That's not where I want to be watching these two. Oh, plenty of concertina and up. Again, I don't want to make any enemies.
Got a car outside. Clear high.
So I just want to sit in. Ugh, where are you going, sir?
Car high. Clear outside.
A little bit of a sketchy moment.
Safety car's out.
And we got another one.
Yellow.
Oh man, we done really well there. To be fair, that was what, like a good 35 laps under green. So I think we can be happy with that. Don't feel the need to pit just yet. Got 28 laps of fuel, so maybe with a couple of cautions we can try and see this tank to lap 100. We're getting ready then to go green once more as we get to 1/3 distance in this race. Yes, I say those things because it is my method of coping in a race like this. We're up to P3. But yeah, the second guy in the train actually is a lap down, so just want to sort of see what happens off of this restart. Then it's still Jonas leading the way. Just want to make sure we got a good eye on him.
Green flag, we're racing.
He's really going to wait to go. There we go. Actually done pretty well off that restart. So I don't know how good Jared's going to be. A little bit further behind as Mikel seemingly quite happy just to coast his way. Oh, he takes a really odd line. He likes to go nice and high on the way in, then really cut down. It's incredible how quickly you pick up the speed again. As here we go. So Jared, whoa, Jared wants to get back on the lead lap, which I can't blame him. We're just trying to basically survive. But yeah, I think we've got quite a lot of cars obviously behind me as well that didn't pit. So I think Jonas is quite happy to let Jared lead, save himself some fuel. I'm tempted to force the issue.
Hold your line.
Also tempted to get dive bombed apparently.
Still there. Clear low.
I mean, to be fair to him, yeah, we all checked up there, so I can't blame him. Oh, that was close. Yeah, we'll see if we can get a run on Mikel then. Oh, I mean, this is not fun. These are some big checkups. I think we might see another caution quite soon.
Got a car low. Inside.
How on earth? I didn't feel anything. We did get another. We got a 4x for that, despite the fact I felt nothing through the wheel. That could have been quite a big one. But
like, ouch, has gone off.
That was the leader. So before everyone a box, that was the old leader. So that's why you want to try and stay near the front here as best as possible. But yeah, that's worked out beautifully for Jared as well, who now will get a bit of a breakaway I mean, there's only 15 cars on the lead lap now, which is kind of mad. But, yeah, that was a really horrible little restart. I get what Jonas is trying to do, but it made it so sketchy for everybody else. But, of course, he won't get that choice now, because Jared has gone. Well, I think we are down to barely over half a field now. We've got Mark and Evgeny, it sounds like a Welsh town, both in the pit lane then. But yeah, I think we're down to like 18, 19 runners still in this race. Jonas actually tried a little bit of trickery by baiting everyone into believing he was going to pit. So I've now got no remorse if I want to try and go for moves here quite quick. As Thomas was another one that was up towards the front early on. But let's see how long we can go green this time then. I think we've got a bit more fuel than him. I'm sure he'd quite happily sit in the wheel tracks of me, but yeah, unless we can get a really good run, or he's really sketchy, I'm tempted just to try and use him to my own benefit for a few laps. We'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, obviously, I mean, we might end up with another caution pretty quick as well. Still just about averaging more than a lap a minute, which is always good. Looks like top 3, maybe we've already got a little bit of a breakaway. That'd be good. So you've even noticed following just one car rather than a pack how much more downforce you've got. It is phenomenal. But yeah, others struggling then. This guy in P3 though gives me a little bit of nerves. He wants to close in a lot in the braking zones. Maybe desperate to give us both the hurry up. Maybe just not quite seeing the bigger picture. I don't know. There we go. Yep, Evgeny making his way back out the pit lane. We're going to have a look to the lead. Haven't led since early on, but we're through. Not too worried about staying here. Just fancied it, to be honest. Yeah, look at that. 15th places in the pit lane then. So there really aren't many still going. The moment is, yeah, there you go. Jonas is quite happy to sit there in the wheel tracks.
You're in the lead.
So it's how close to half distance can we get this stint? That's the real question at the moment. I think, yeah, anything under 8 gallons of fuel, that's when you've just got to pit again. Obviously, that will change towards the end of the race, but that's kind of my new rule. We got someone. Oh, that is Evgeny. I'm intrigued to know where they are actually from, because that's not even remotely similar to a name I've ever seen on the sim. Easy. Always get a little bit scared when I get a bit too close to that grass. I reckon we've got to be down to not that many cars. We might only have half a field here already, which fills me with confidence, because of course that means there's less likely to be wrecks. Because obviously there's less cars for people to crash into. So I'm just happy to rack up a few more laps led under my belt. The MPG now below 4.
41.4.
So we have got to be a little bit careful. We have got to start thinking about that as well. Although again, we're still not even at half distance. So yeah, we can just sit behind Evgeny, then I will. Then I wonder whether Jonas will be more desperate to try and force the issue again. Unless that car's damaged. Yeah, we're doing over 360. I think we've got good speed. Definitely building up more confidence though in the car, which is good. Look at the speed we've got. Want to just send it? Oh, damn it. I thought he might slot back in underneath me. That's a real shame. I thought we might get a bit of a break there. I mean, it's pointless, but would have been quite fun. how many laps. Hopefully we are going to lead by the end of this. Oh, there you go. Another safety car. Yeah, I think it's worth pitting now. Hayden's apparently leading. Sorry? I've lost my lead. No, he was 7th. Okay. So no idea what happened there. But yeah, we are going to peel into the pit lane then. So I don't know where obviously I'm going to re-emerge. Hopefully we're not too far down the order. Well, despite the fact I pit then, everybody else behind me did the same. And I know now for a fact there are 14 cars on the lead lap here. It has really been a race of attrition. I think there's about 16 or 17 of us still going. So really has been just about survival so far.
Green flag,
We're going to try and go early. Get the jump on everybody behind. Again, though, it is completely irrelevant. So hopefully we'll just get a few more laps led. But, I mean, surely now, hopefully we're going to see less and less cautions. It would be nice to have, you know, pretty green flag running. I mean, I'd love green flag running from here to the end, because, of course, we're effectively in the net lead. Well, we are in the lead. We're in the net lead, everything like that, because everyone is back on the same strat. But, yeah, obviously, if we go green, then this set should take us sort of just over, what, lap 110? But yeah, I'm sort of looking at it, trying to do the maths, you know, because you do think with half a field of cars, it could very much be the case. Well, it's unlikely, but it could happen. But I don't think anyone will obviously be able to 3-stint to the end of the afternoon.
43.1.
So obviously we don't need to worry about fuel burn as much or anything like that. But we'll wait and see. Anything can happen still. Obviously being back in the hot seat, I know Jonas isn't too desperate to go for moves at the moment. But yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about fuel on this stint, I don't think. Just because there's not really a lot else we can do. So yeah, unless we do end up back in the pack or something like that. I'm trying to leave it in 6th, save a little bit here and there, but it's all kind of pretty irrelevant, isn't it, at the moment? So I'm just happy to try and lead a lot of laps. I don't, you know, even if I didn't end up winning, to have, say, 100 laps led at Indy on my resume. I just want to lead more laps than Stingray Rob did last weekend. That's, like, my only goal. Just because I find it absolutely hilarious that Stingray Rob did lead laps at the Indy500. Imagine that. I mean, there's every possibility that could happen at some point. But imagine you see Stingray Rob Indy500 winner. Wild. Absolutely wild. Anyway, less of the Stingray Rob slander. Focus on the driving.
Was 41.2.
Yeah, say lap times. I know now fastest was a 40.799, yeah, by Tomoya? I don't know. But, so even, yeah, when we're fully pinned, you're not actually that much slower, which is good. And although we might be burning slightly more fuel, everyone else is shredding their tyres, so, you know, all the fun of the fair. Though, I did see people in free practice running like 39s, 39.4s, that kind of thing. So I just don't know whether the fixed race setup's quite slow or what that's all about. But yeah, we're definitely way off that pace. So it is really just about working out what Jonas is going to do. Watch the mirrors.
41.3.
So yeah, we can keep the car fully pinned. Oh, we're almost at half distance though of that great American race. Yeah, but it is really only in kind of the final 40 laps or so you can even start thinking about winning this thing. Up till then, it is still about survival.
That was 41.3. Good consistency. Keep them coming.
Definitely have enjoyed leading some laps though today. Even if this were to be the last one I'd lead. Has been interesting. Has been good fun. I said this, even if this was the last lap I lead, I almost made that reality there.
Safety car deployed.
Oh, there we go. Yellow's out again. Do we bother pitting from here? I don't know. Oh, we got to let the pace car by again. Damn it. So pace car just got out in time. Yeah. Oh, it was Tomoa that's dropped out. Manually disconnected. Maybe took some more cars with him. Yeah, no idea what happened there. Definitely a big gap from fourth back. So there might have been quite the wreck. I don't know whether Tomoya took out a couple of other people with him, but Xavier there, he's 14th, 15th place, a lap down. And he's in the pits, so I have got no idea how few people are actually still running here, but as we're about to go green again, gonna go about there. Oh, beautiful. Time that to perfection, that time round. There genuinely might only be sort of 14 people still running. I have no idea how. There must have been so many big wrecks that I've just been nowhere near to see any of them. Shame I can't really sort of scroll down the relative or anything like that. So just trying to be really smooth there. Leave it fully wide open on the exit. But yeah, I think everyone now is starting to get a little bit worried about strategy and things like that as well. I think genuinely there are 14 cars. I don't know whether someone's a few laps down that's kind of still running around trying to recover as many places as they can. If they are, then they got a really good shot at it, because no one seems to want to finish this. Not even at half distance still. So yeah, there's been, I think, a few big ones. I mean, I guess with a fixed setup, it's, unless you're kind of pack racing, it's quite difficult to actually crash. This thing's pretty stable, of course. I've only really had one scary moment, and that was because I was in a huge train and getting way too confident. But, oh, and we got another one. Lovely. We are not, I mean, yeah, I'm just staying out at the moment because I don't know how many laps we can go before it's worth pitting again. I did see 17th on the relative there as he's now gone. Fast in chat. We think there's only 15 cars actually still left running in this race at the moment, which is absolutely mental. We're not even a half distance yet. At the rate we're going, we're going to end up with about -4 cars by the end of the race. But like I said, I'm hoping that just means we're going to see less crashes in the second half. Everyone seems to be following me on strategy, which is a little bit worrying, because I'm not the person you should follow.
Green, let's go.
But we are going to go green flag racing once again then. Let's see what we can do here. I mean, basically now, if you finish, I mean, even if you don't finish, I guess, you're guaranteed some iRating, which I guess is good. But, yeah, I mean, in terms of strategy, I think we've got about another 20 laps worth of fuel just under. So 116, we can probably pit 3 more times from here, if it ran green, but I'm not expecting it to. Wouldn't surprise me if we end up with like 10 cars still running by the end of this. But it is then, I think, going to start coming down to, you know, picking a partner to draft with, being really, really tidy on pit lane. Everything like that is going to be so important towards the end of this. Because, yeah, especially when you've got such a thinned out field,
Your lap time was
anything can
43.3.
happen. And it normally does at Indy. Let's say, I'm honestly, with knowing how few cars are here, I'm actually quite happy just to sit at the front for a while. Knowing the way the race has gone so far, knowing how strategy's looking. I'm just staggered. If we've lost 18 cars from this race, how come I haven't seen a single one of those incidents? And I know I've sort of sat towards the front for most of it, because I've been quite lucky, to be honest. Like, just the way the splits have worked out have probably meant that I'm still actually driving. But, yeah, how have I not seen a single stricken car or anything like that? Anything like that? I mean, it's got to be sort of, I would have thought on average at most, 2-3 cars going out a crash. It's probably obviously been a couple of cautions as well where no one's gone out. But, yeah, madness. But we got Lyle now in P2 rather than Jonas. So I don't know whether he's going to try and be a bit more aggressive or a bit less aggressive or what's going to be the story with him. But good to try and kind of get this recon on people earlier rather than later. Good as well not to get down to that grass mat. That's going to be the death of me at some point today. But we are almost halfway there in an hour and 35 minutes. It's a pretty slow Indy500 so far. But like I said, I'll be very concerned if the second half's slower than the first. You know, it's not like a race at Daytona or something like that where people get feisty towards the end. It is just people can't race each other very well. You know, the understeer that most of you got to sit in is not fun. Hence why I'm happy to stay here.
Last lap time was at 41.3.
Times are still good. So, like I said, I was hoping originally to do this race in... I had about 2 hours 45 in my head. That's now, I think, impossible, simply if we just set 41's laps to the end. So then it was kind of in my head, well, if we can go under a lap a minute on average, which is terrible... then I'd be quite happy. That I think we should still do. We're still averaging just better than that at the moment. Like I said, I'm hoping the second half is going to be better. But as we reach half distance then here, we are still leading, which is good.
That's halfway. We estimate 11 laps of fuel left. That lap was at 41.2.
Yeah, to be fair, even if we just left it wide open between now and the end, I think fuel-wise, everyone will be on the same strat still. Especially, obviously, with how quick fuel goes in. Doesn't actually make that much difference as well whether you're, you know, doing half a tank or anything. It's only a second or two, which admittedly could be a big difference maker, but I think with the way this race is going at the moment, everyone's going to still end up being quite bunched up towards the end. I wonder, yeah, whether still people are just obviously going to sit behind me for a while. Or, obviously, once they kind of work out what's going on with strategy, are going to try and go their own way. Maybe I'm throwing myself under the bus by leading this, for as much as I am at the moment.
Consistent.
So yeah, if we could do 2:45, it means I'm finished by 1, ready for my lunch, which would be nice. In the 10 AM race. I like to do the morning races on iRacing, generally speaking. It's bumpy out there, up towards the wall. Then to start just leaving it in 6th, but not sure it makes much difference. Well, we'll try 5th this lap, obviously through the corners, then next lap round we'll go 6th. See if it makes much difference. Currently averaging less than 4 MPG. We are, I mean, this is pure American entertainment, isn't it? Just watching petroleum explode. So I've got no idea what they're going to do with the hybrids in IndyCar. That's just a really weird foreign concept, but yeah, going to be interesting. So 4.01 that lap. Let's leave it in 6th. We did a 41.277 as well, because of course that is also important. See what lap times we do. Yeah, definitely feels slightly slower, but that might just be the engine, the revs. Obviously, doing a race like this, you do fine-tune in to kind of what the car's, what noises it's making, everything like that. 41.277, 41.343, and we were worse on fuel. Yeah, we're going to keep leaving it in 5th. Yeah, I wonder if, obviously, if the peak power figure is slightly below the red line, actually. Everyone, yeah, is doing just around about the same times. As long as we get past lap 110, that's the big one. Because that meant, even if it did go green to the end, 30 lap stints. So no one's going to be able to go, you know, do a pit stop less or anything like that. Trying to think, yeah, I don't think anyone would really have an advantage here, would they? But again, you don't really know until you get right towards the end. Could be someone completely under the radar running in like P14 that has got a plan. Said we are making ourselves a little bit vulnerable by leading so many laps, but
that's good consistency. Keep it up.
I hope it's not going to make much difference, because obviously I know everyone else is taking more out of their tyres, which is good. Because, I mean, if theoretically this did go green until the end, the idea of knowing obviously we could still absolutely get there, but we would have better than tyres everyone else if they started getting more aggressive, is a good thing to note. But again, the idea that this could go green to the end, I just refuse to believe. Oh, easy. I don't want to be the one to cause that caution either. There we go. So Evgeny is 20 seconds back, and P14. We're down to, I think, 13 legitimate runners in this race, unless he's just one lap down. Either way, astounding. Like I said, we are barely over half distance. Yeah, I think Lyle's getting a bit bored. Here we go.
Inside.
I'm happy to save the fuel for a little bit.
Still there. Clear low, P2. You've got about
Not
4 laps
desperate.
of fuel left. That lap time was 41.3.
But I have got to get used to the understeer again. But that's okay. Yeah, you really do. If you're in P2, P2's a really good spot to be in here. P2 going on to the final lap might generally be better than leading. Again, we are still way too early in this race to start worrying about that. So we've got 4 laps left of fuel.
Outside. You're leading. You're clear outside. 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Nice, just get a little bit of battling going on. Just kind of work out where Lyle's strong, where he isn't.
Laps of fuel remaining. That last lap was a 41.3.
Yeah, we've got 3 laps in the tank, not 2. But so I think everyone else might be able to go 1 more than me here, so... But again, it doesn't make much difference with the lap times. So I'm not actually too concerned. So unless people are really, really wanting to try and team up. Yeah, 2 laps worth of fuel. That's okay.
We think you'll be out of fuel on the next lap.
Hate the way crew chief instills fear in me.
In this lap.
But again, obviously we don't need to take risks. We do not need to risk pit entry or anything like that. We've just got to get the car slowed down nice and tidy. Intrigued to know if Lyle's going to try and go for it. No, I think it's better off it. Good man. You really don't want to have a lunging move like that. Don't actually know when it's going to start spluttering though, that's the other thing. There you go. As the red warning light comes on. Never actually checked whether we got fuel and tyres set up, but I think we should. Oh, happy with the entry. Happy with the entry. Oh no, now it's spluttering. That's not good. Come on. Come on. Oh, have I just gone slightly too far on it? Come on. Just get a little more blip. Right, we'll coast it in. That way, if we've got just a tiny bit, if I cock up the stop. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. That shouldn't be too much of a concern for us. Oh, yeah, that's what you've got to be careful of as well. Damn it. Knew I shouldn't have spiked the roads like that. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is where you've got to be really careful. It's the pit entry and the pit exit where this race could be won or lost. I did not do a particularly good job that time round. So Jared's 12th. Basically a lap down. I've got no idea how long the others are going to go. But of course, yeah, if we've got a caution now... Actually, if we've got a caution now, it'll be fine. It's just if the leader gets past me, then we get a caution. How much further can they go, though? I think that's the real question.
There's a car rejoining in front.
As Lyle in good on his fuel.
P11.
Oh, where am I going? Cold tyres. Cold tyres. I got no idea where this guy was before the pits. So we are seeing more in. So we're certainly not aiming at a bad spot. Yeah, I ballsed up that pit stop badly. We're probably going to be back in the group a bit more. That's why it's so important to stay with other people around here.
There's a car leaving the pit lane.
Yeah, there's Mikkel.
E9.
Yeah, look at that. We've really been jumped, haven't we? So Francesc was obviously out in P4, I believe, before the pits. He's got a good jump on me. Yeah, we might be in real trouble towards the end of this, depending on how things pan out. There you go, Lyle's finally in. So, yeah, I certainly, you know, he's not in a position where he can go one pit stop less than me or anything like that. That's good to know. Obviously, we're not going to end up a lap down, though.
Car high. Clear outside. The gap to Christensen behind is now 0.7. Heads up, there's a car rejoining. The gap to Diaz in front is now 0.8. The leader, Wise, is pitting 6th place.
So there's Lyle. So he's not done very well either then. So that's good to know. Still not in a bad spot. Francesca's done really well actually here in this. To kind of jump past quite a few of us. I think we're still out in a net P2, but I'm happy to sit behind. Okay, there's Jonas in.
P5.
Yes, we're not going to get the jump on Lyle or anything like that. Oh, but sorry, we're not going to like get away from him or anything. Jonas again has done really well here. So it seems like the longer you go, the better off you're looking. But of course, obviously now he's got to deal with the cold tyres. This is where the strategy comes in more and more. So Jake was the one, yeah, I think that basically was a lap down. But luckily was ahead of me, so was able to get back the lead lap. He's now leading. He might be one of the only sort of unknowns in this. But again, that's only if he can sort of get to about lap 140, and I doubt that.
There's a car leaving the pit lane.
Yeah, it is really just going to be about that last stint, isn't it? You notice more and more, obviously, when you're in the dirty air, how important it is to try and really use the banking to swing the car in. Through 3 especially, I feel. So here we go. Might see Francesca trying to go for something. Nope, thinks better of it. I know Jonas is quite happy to sit in the wheel tracks of other drivers.
P5.
Try not to use the brake wherever possible. Just want to use that lift off. Save the fuel. Makes so much difference just being able to save a little bit of fuel here.
There's a car leaving the pits.
You can just sort of half throttle it down the straights. I don't know whether sort of big lifts will be better or whether it's just worth lifting. We'll try half throttle, see how that feels. Also, only when you've picked up the really big speed though, isn't it? Yes, obviously I don't want to cut fuel as tight as we did last time either. That was probably a bit too sketchy, and I think was what made the difference in the end.
P4. You've just
Good
done a
MPGs.
41.8.
I'm not confident about these two though. I don't think either of them really want to lead right now.
The leader is pitting now.
And I'm worried there's going to be a miscommunication at some point. What is that? And when Lyle's kind of seeing this behind me as well, and he's just like, yeah, I'll sit in.
The car in front of us is wise.
Yeah, Francesco is starting to make me a little bit nervous. There we go, Alan in that pit lane. Here goes Lyle.
Still there. Clear low. Diaz is now leading.
Say, unless I'm leading, I'm really not too interested at the moment. There's a bit of a gap formed behind. That's good. So I think we've only got a cluster of 5 of us that have broken out of the front. But that kind of actually makes me worried as well all at the same time, because we're the only one on a really alternate strategy. I say really alternate. It's slightly different, but it still makes me nervous. This is just such a mental game, though. I'm trying to do so many calculations in my head, working out what people are going to go with. Yeah, times are slowing down a bit as well. I think we're all just getting a little bit nervous, just trying to save a little bit more fuel. I think no one wants to be the first to blink at the moment. That's the problem. But I'm still a little bit scared of Francesca at the front. Those top two, just the way they race makes me a little bit nervous. Just makes me think, if we get towards the end, how confident am I going side by side with them if we needed it?
P4.
So we should be able to get to about just shy of lap 150 by the time we pit. Trying to think, the two that were able to box really late, there's no way surely they can do 37 laps a stint. Surely not. Yeah, nice run on Lyle here.
Car outside. Still there.
Oh, sketchy stuff.
Clear outside.
He was desperate to hang on to it, so we had to back out more. We cannot get caught battling each other though. Yeah, we need to just work with each other though. I'm not going to go for it again. We cannot let the top two get away. We are also the one that desperately needs to save a little bit more fuel at the moment, so all of this going on, I'm not too worried about. I say desperately, it's literally unless we get like 4 cautions now, right, towards the end. Which I hope we don't see. Yeah, Lyle is looking very, very confident here, that's the other thing. And Alan and Jared, they're looking quite quick a little bit further back. Oh, easy does it. It was almost a big one. Got to close back in though, just a little bit. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, it would basically be from now, if you were going to box, you can get to the end with only one more pit stop. Fuel and tyres are set though, good to go. Just kind of work out as well what Mikkel's doing behind. Is he still confident? Has he still got enough in that car? Because that's ultimately what this race might come down to right at the end. As well, Francesca again wallops the wall. You know, who's going to be the confident one? Who's going to be the one that wants to make the moves? If I had to guess anyone right now, my guess would be Lyle, to be honest. It just seems to have supreme confidence, willing to fling it around the outside down at turn 1. Again, that was kind of more of a, is he going to back out? I'm intrigued to know, move. Oh, that was terrible though. That's what that was. Starting to get to the point where I wonder whether we're just going to have to box with Francesc. Try and work together. those top two. That scares me. These two really do scare me at the moment. Oh, hello. What's Lyle doing behind? They are really making me wonder whether we're going to see another crash before this race is down and out. And it's just, how close do I sit? How much space do I give myself if that crash happens? I don't know. We're over well, we're pretty much now at 2/3 distance. I think we are, yeah, just over it, aren't we? So, that's pretty good. As well, I feel like Jonas is trying to force Francesca into a mistake, and that doesn't kind of bode well here either.
Good consistency. Keep them coming.
Got down on the bump on the inside, avoid the wall. It's those little moments you don't want many times around here. Laps worth of fuel. So it's definitely going to be a splash towards the end. I mean, yeah, there's no way someone else can go sort of 16, 17 laps longer than me, is there? Especially with how well we've been able to do on the fuel save this time round. So it is just those little things, you know, it's the idea that our tyres are going to be just those few laps older towards the end. Does not fill me with confidence. So like I said, you don't even know whether he's actually done that or not. It's just the fact that you're stuck behind it if it has happened. I mean, that is big speed. Again, just lacking a little bit. You know, it's that little mistake with 3 laps to go could make all the difference. You just don't know. But yeah, I want to see Lyle start to instigate now, I think. I'm happy if Mikel wants to go past me, but I'm happy to sort of see Lyle poking his nose in, sort of seeing what Jonas is going to do, seeing what Francesca will do, and just kind of working it out for me. All 3 of them there, I'm still just that little bit nervous of towards the end of this race. But if I had to guess here, I would say Lyle is the quickest.
We estimate 4 laps fuel remaining. That was 41.5.
Oh, I did not want 4th. Haven't done that at all today. That was close as well. Did not need 4th gear there. Yes, we've got 5 laps worth. So we're going to get pretty close to lap 150.
We estimate 4 laps fuel remaining.
So nervous. So nervous. Especially when you made it this far in, you know. Oh, hello, a bit of stuttering. Now it's when you start thinking about the finish. Now is when you start kind of working out who you're happy to work with, who you're willing to kind of almost screw over.
Laps of fuel left.
Apart from everyone, of course. That bump on the exit there is so scary.
Car outside. Still there.
Oh, I didn't realise I was in 5th. Yeah, the problem is, unless you're kind of 2nd place, you can't really do a lot else here at the moment. You know, so how do you get yourself into 2nd?
Only 2 more laps of fuel. That lap was a 41.7.
And Lyle in P3, I think, is the real problem here, to be honest. I think Jonas and Francesco might actually have a bit of a better chance at. It's just Lyle, man. He's quick. He's confident. That's what you don't want to see in an opponent. Oh, Franceschi. Had I been thinking, we probably could have come in with him, but that's okay.
This is the last lap of fuel.
Yeah, I've got 1 more lap of fuel after this one. I'm not as worried as crew chief is.
Hit this lap, in this lap.
Oh no, how's the lap car going to affect things? Jared's got back up to speed pretty quick, so we don't need to worry about that. Oh, he's actually going to go for the move. Okay. So, of course, so worried still about the cautions. But he's got to try and obviously get back in front. We just need to know how well Franceschi's getting on. Yeah, we are going to be in this lap, though. McKellar's just sat very, very patiently over the course of this stint.
Watch your speed limit in the pits.
I cannot talk as we try and dive into the pit lane there. It's so scary. These cars feel better than some of the older ones did. I know I've locked up and binned it going into pit lane before. But yeah, that felt pretty tidy, and obviously I'm hoping the top 2 will have the box with each other. Where is Francesco, though? That's the real question. I'll just turn those sides into 50% pieces. We don't need them again. Don't rev the car before they say you can go. Don't get the wheel spin. Don't get the wheel spin.
The pit exit looks clear.
We'll see a bit of a blend on the exit. There's Francesco. Easy over the white line. So again, he's been able to get the jump on me. But will we be able to get back with him? It's the real question. We know the draft is still quite potent from a little bit further back. So sketchy, you just don't know what the tyres are going to do.
The gap to Diaz ahead is now 1.4 seconds.
They feel good. That's really important. So you can see, yeah, we are getting a slipstream, which is good. Jonas and Lyle actually have separated up a bit here, so this might work out well for us too. We can get this to work. We can work together over the next few laps. Oh, come on. That's not what I meant. See, it's only really if someone's able to go sort of well into the lap 160s that I'm then going to be worried about them. Kind of potentially being able to get the better of everybody here. Yeah, we are definitely in the wheel tracks though. John and Mikel in. Mikel now on his way back out again. So I think Mikel might be in trouble here. See if we can try and take fast lap of the day. No, not quite. Not a bad lap, but not a new fastest. Don't want to go for anything down into turn 1.
You've just done a 40.9.
Francesco right now is my friend. If we can get a run on him, we will, but I don't want to risk it.
That was at 41.4. The leader, Wise, is pitting.
Yes, that's good. So we know definitely, for example, he's not going to be able to go to the end. So there probably isn't anybody, but I'm just worried that someone is going to somehow be completely under the radar here and do something mad. Like Alan. Let's say you can't sensibly blend and bleed that much time off to try and make, you know, sort of 4 or 5 extra laps.
Is a car leaving the pits? That lap time was 41.4.
Here is Lyle. Would have been nice to get away from him, but I don't think we will. Actually, he's dropping back. This is good. A 3-car battle to the end would be much better than a 4. No, he's definitely in the draft though. That's a shame. Unless we can get a really good run here. And Francesco just desperate to defend it. Yeah, Lyle will get back with our group. There you go, so leader again. So that's good.
Got a car high. Clear high. Diaz is gaining on you. The gap's now 0.1.
So, and I wonder if Jonas is going to try and force the issue again, whether he's going to try and let me by. There we go. So no one then is going to be able to long
P3
to the end. We are safe from that. Tell you what, Jonas looks fast though.
P2. The gap to Wise ahead is now 0.8.
And Francesco behind looks slow, which is really good. 1 second now, that gap. Oh, it's going to be new fast lap of the day, surely. Yeah, 710. Hello. If we could keep hold of that to the end, I'd be happy. I've got no idea whether Francesca's able to keep up, though. Can Jonas and I break free? As a 2-horse race, I would feel much happier in. Basically, the less cars you're battling for the win here, the better. But I don't think we're quite going to do it. Hands starting to cramp up a little bit. Tell you what, Alan's been able to get himself back closer, though. So he's done really well, actually. If we ended up with another caution or two, he might not be in a bad spot still.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 49.
We're just trying to save more fuel. If we stay behind Jonas for most of this stint, then it might just be worth boxing with him.
That lap was a 41.4.
That was close.
Time was at 41.1. The guy behind has just done it.
Lyle's back with us now. Damn it, man. Aw. Francesco, yeah, is definitely struggling. Does not have the confidence. Oh no, Lyle's set new fast lap as well. He took my fastest lap away. 40.6. Madness. 2.5 miles in 40.6 seconds. 4 kilometers. A kilometer every 10 seconds. Come on, I'll have some patience, man. We're still not home and dry.
P2.
I think everyone just wants to be P2 right now. Turn around, we got a run.
Got a car outside. He's still there. Clear high. You're leading.
Ugh! Great. Great. It's over.
Car's out. Full course yellow.
Love that. Absolutely love that. Just drives through me. It's over. Yeah, it's over. Car's gone. Cannot believe that, man. Just drove straight through me. Gutted. Yeah, there's no chance we're going to get the car fixed up, surely. Bro, 40 laps to go. We've done basically everything right up to that point. Stay out the wall as best as we can. Yeah, I mean, surely they're just going to say it's over. What was that, man?
What's your speed limit in the pits?
I expect him to just say, yeah, the car's toast.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
Has he not even been kind of damaged by that? End of the longest line I don't care about. If he's picked up no damage from that, just driving through me, I'm going to be real upset. Yeah, surely this is car's toast. Okay. 5 minutes required, though, man. Yeah, it's basically over, isn't it? Unless there's cautions to the end. That is going. Let's take a look what happened quickly. I'm tempted just to try and finish the race. How many cars we still actually got running? 1 lap down, 7 laps down, 74 laps down. So we've literally got 14 cars. What happened? See, the nose was kind of hanging off there quite a lot. Let's have a look then. At the final corner. So we get the run. To the inside. Is Lyle going to follow me? Yeah, just absolutely comes across me. He does nudge the wall, but I don't think it makes much difference. Just drives straight through me. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. Like I said, is it worth finishing? Could we could still beat Evgeny, I suppose. And if Paul can get back on the lead lap, then maybe we could get laps back. I mean, they're going to obviously be slower under safety car. So I don't know whether Paul will get the lap back at all. I mean, we would need so many cautions, wouldn't we, towards the end? I don't know how many laps they're going to lose. That's the other problem. I think we'll try and see, obviously, how much of the damage we can get repaired. If the car's still way off, then obviously there's not a lot we can do. Otherwise, I mean, we just need more cautions, wouldn't we, to try and get back in it. And I'm not convinced we're going to get those towards the end. But we could still beat Evgeny, which would be ideal. We're going to try and come back out then onto the circuit. Mainly because I've still seen them battling mighty aggressively up at the front of the field. So, I mean, if we could get another caution before the end, I would certainly take it. Now the car is pulling way more as well. So, it's certainly not kind of, you know, going to be competitive or anything like that. We might even still be down loads on top speed. Alan now has been able to move himself right towards the front. And I think everyone else is very, very close between making it to the end on fuel or not. How's the car handle? Oh, it doesn't turn. Oh, that is not fun. So I just want to try and beat Evgeny, to be honest. If possible. You know, that one extra place. I mean, like I said, if we get more carnage towards the end, I think we're only 4 laps down. So we could still end up with, you know, a few more places. Maybe we could still try and scrounge together a top 10, but the fact that even we're getting taken out 40 laps from home, we should still gain some iRating here. Tells you everything you need to know about this race. And I think as well... was it Jonas? I can't remember his name already. That's bad, isn't it? I think he also picked up some damage as well in that incident. So he got shuffled a bit further back down the order as well. But like I said, I just want to finish this race. That's the other big thing. And if we get some freebies towards the end, well then, fantastic. We're a good 2-3 seconds off the pace. Said if we get more cautions though, I don't think Paul's going to get back on the lead lap though, unfortunately. Unless he can really shuffle himself through. The other thing obviously I don't want to do is being off the pace. I don't want to cause carnage and potentially, you know, I'm happy if there is another caution, but I don't want to be the cause of it. That's my other big thing. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. Single file. That is fantastic news. Well, about to go green then once again. Jared now out of the race, I believe, or at least is in the pit lane with plenty of damage. So we might get another freebie out of this before this race is down and out. And kind of basically now what I'm just hoping for, that it gets really, really scrappy. Everyone is on the same strategy to the end. So there's nothing anyone can really do there. And yeah, myself and Paul as well. And we're not really able to do a lot right now, are we? Get the jump on a couple of them down towards turn 1.
Hold your line. Clear high.
Say, I don't think we're going to see anyone else pit again, so I'm not convinced I've got a car quick enough to move my way back up through the order. I mean, look at that. Only at 330 clicks, and we're already struggling with the understeer just a little bit. Of course, all these cautions do also mean is that we can slowly get the car repaired. There's Jared now 3 laps down. Oh yeah, this thing is not fun to drive at the moment. We'll let Paul back through. Not really going to be a lot I can do against him. So it's really, unless people just want to start going for tyres towards the end. But like I said, I want this to get scrappy. I don't care if this is cautions basically to the end now, if it gives us a good chance to try and move through. But I don't think it will. Lyle obviously has stayed out, so he's kind of the only unknown, really. He's the only one, I think, that stayed out under that last caution, so took track position, but might not be able to make it on fuel. 27 to go, so everyone should be safe there, I think. Yeah, we have now jumped Jared, so we're not going to be unlucky P13 by the end. You know, it kind of goes to show as well, Evgeny has been basically just looping around all by himself pretty much all race, but might actually still get a decent-ish result out of it simply by just being there, which is quite impressive when you think about it. Like I said, oh, there we go, another one gone. That'll be a caution.
Safety car's coming out. Yellow flag.
And I've nudged the wall. We might get DQ'd as well. That's the only other thing I'm concerned about. I don't actually know what the instant limit is here. Is there an instant limit? Or is it no instant limit? I don't know. If it's 17, then we're almost in trouble. If it's not, then we should be fine. Well, with John now gone as well, we're going to inherit P11. So we might actually still get a top 10 finish here. Despite getting absolutely wrecked. That's exactly what Paul's been able to do. I genuinely don't believe this is going to be the last caution either. That's what concerns me at the moment. People are getting really, really scrappy towards the end of this one. And, well, I'm loving it for the freebies for us. We have now got the car fully repaired, apparently. So I don't know how perfect it is going to be. But it is definitely a lot better than it was. As once again, we'll get past Evgeny. So, I mean, look at that. Yep, there you go. Immediately, another one gone. It's going to be another caution. And that is Jonas. It's terrible, but I'm happy. There, I said it. I don't care. I think another couple might have been involved in that one. Paul, perhaps? Did he try and go 3 wide? I don't know. Jonas is now gone, so we are going to be up into that P10 position then. So stupid. So, I mean, like I said, again, I want to know what position he was at. I think he was down in like P22 or something ridiculous. And he's going to end up with a very worst 11th place by the end of this race. Like I said in the last one, definitely could still be more cautions before the end. Inside the final 20. Wouldn't surprise me if there were again there. Just giving ourselves a little bit of breathing room. Obviously, don't really need to risk anything for us. And then you know it's a good restart when someone immediately has to pull to the inside. I mean, just have a big one, you know. All 9 cars on the lead, all go out in one go. Say our car now is still understeering. It feels much better, but it's definitely still understeering. As Paul's kind of got a bit of a difficult task, because if he can get back to the front, then if we end up with another caution, he could theoretically, you know, be back in the fight. I can't really, to be honest. So Paul might not end up getting back in that fight. Yeah, I think there's more and more wounded cars, though, here. Please don't move around like that, sir.
Still there. Clear high.
Here we got no top-end speed. So seemingly they fixed the car in terms of some of the understeer, but have now made it slower in a straight line. Which is a little bit odd. Of course, you guys will have the third-person cam, so you'll be able to see what's actually wrong with it. I've got no idea driving. There we go. Yep, we have now jumped Jonas. We are officially P10 again in this race. But I think, yeah, once we get to lap 194, I don't think then we can do anything. I think we, obviously, yeah, there'll be 197 for the leaders. Evgeny can't have me. I can't have the cars in front. So, yeah, we're struggling a little bit here. But it's also an element of, if they have another big wreck at the front, which they might well do, side by side to turn 1,
Still there.
then we got enough time to kind of navigate our way around it. So I think both of us might have pretty similar damage, to be honest. Could end up with a fun fight towards the end of this race.
Hold your line. You're clear outside.
So I really don't want to bin it by myself. Just, like I said, gutted we got driven through, but there is definitely an element of happiness that Jonas also is not going to see the finish. Because he, like I said, he did literally just drive straight through me. 1.8 seconds doesn't sound like much, but on a 40-second lap time, it's quite a lot. mean, they're still bunched up at the front. Imagine if we did come out the final corner, there's just cars everywhere. If they want to do that, please do it with like 10 laps to go, so I've got a chance. Do we think this could go caution-free to the end? They got, what, 15, I think?
You've just done a 42.5.
14 to go. Wouldn't surprise me if we end up finishing under caution, I think. It's probably going to be the likely way this ends up. But yeah, Alan obviously was one of those drivers that I was like was on a bit of an alternate strategy. Might be able to spring a surprise. Mikel, I'd be quite happy to see him win this, to be honest. Francesca as well, a little bit ropey, but... So I don't know where Lyle is, interestingly. Lyle's down to 5th, so he might be the one trying to make moves here. Up towards the front. 7 cars covered by a second.
That lap was at 42.0.
Okay, so we can take it fully pinned then. Just really does take a while. Yeah, I reckon Lyle might be the one trying to make moves. I'm just, like I said as well, hoping this race goes under 3 hours. That would be nice. Francesca back up to P2. Yeah, they're definitely starting to push each other more. Annoyingly, yeah, I don't think I'm going to gain any SR from this. Which is quite impressive. Because normally you get 4x here and your day's over. Lyle's actually dropping back. I think he might have been one of the ones in the 3 wide incident then. We might just be struggling a little bit more here towards the end of the race. And they're still running quick lap times though. We're definitely gearing our pace back up, but it's still, yeah, not as quick. I mean, if they keep it green to the end, I'm going to be very impressed. Ow, all that. Lucky that was 0x. Oh, top 2 have got a bit of a break. Said if I had to guess anyone still,
42.3.
it might still be Lyle, but... Come on, Matt, stop hitting that wall.
Diaz is leading the race.
Oh, Francesca to the front. 10 laps to go here from Indy. Gutted we're not going to quite do the full 500 miles, but yeah, not a lot we could do about that, unfortunately. Had to blend into the corner. Jonas clearly felt otherwise. Matt's now starting to struggle a little bit. Come on, can we go sub 3 hours? One more caution, it's not going to happen. If they keep it clean, they should be okay. Oh, Matt having a pit, so no idea what's happened to him. Maybe just has ran out of fuel, maybe something more sinister, but say that might give Paul a freebie. No point giving up though at this point. If we do get another caution, he's right back in it. Stop hitting walls, Matt. Yeah, we're getting towards the point though where even if they have a wreck now, I can't do anything.
That lap time was 41.9.
We've only got a handful more laps as Matt. I think he might be out of it. He's, yeah, still in the pit lane, so I got no idea what's happened to him. Oh, we might run out of fuel before the end. Had not thought about that, to be honest. So as long as we get onto the final lap, I don't think it's going to make much difference to me. Matt is still in the pits. So I think, yeah, he's out.
You've got about
10 laps to go.
Left.
We have not got that much fuel, though. I think we're just going to go around until the tank's dry. They got 6 to go. Okay. Yeah, we're going to be in big trouble. We ain't finishing this. Go over to 6th, try and save a little bit. It doesn't really actually matter at all. Obviously, I don't want to pit before I absolutely have to, in case we do see another caution.
3 laps of fuel remaining.
Actually got 4, but with 5 laps to go of this race.
Keep it up.
How far can you coast with no fuel? That's the question we're going to ask ourselves in a moment, ladies and gents. Unless we get a caution.
Safety car out.
Yep, of course, as soon as I say it. I got no idea now whether that's going to mean we're finishing under caution. I got no idea who's been involved in it either. Someone's definitely had a big one. That is Lyle, I believe. So maybe some extra freebies right at the end. I just do not know. But we're going into fuel saving.
Remaining.
We've got 2 laps of fuel. Even if we end up with 1 more green flag run, then who knows. But say we're definitely going to have enough to get to the end. But will it go green again? Well, there'll be 1 lap of racing action before this race is down and out. I don't know. This is it then. We're going to have 1 lap to see these guys to the finish. I've got next to no fuel, so if they were all to take each other out and it was just me and Evgeny going around, he might actually win this thing before it is done and dusted, but I believe it is still yet Francesco with the lead. Surely, just time the restart correctly and you are going to take this win. Alan will be watching him like a hawk off of this final restart, but we've just about got enough fuel to see us through. We're not quite going to achieve my goal of a sub 3 hour Indy 500 either, which is a bit of a shame. But we might also get a couple of freebies out of it. Matt's come back out, but Lyle and Aaron are both still in the pit lane then, so I got no idea. We might be on the same lap as them by the end of this thing. Wow, that is some bunching up. Here we go. Green flag racing.
Green flag.
Unless you're called Paul, apparently. Can't jump in before the line. But are we going to see Francesco take the win here at the Indy 500? The slipstream is going to be really important. Team have confirmed to me as well. 1 lap to go. Let's see what happens down the back straight. Oh, I mean, for us, it's terrible. You can see he's trying to break the slipstream as best as he can. None of them are following him, though. What is going on here? You can see he's trying to weave around like crazy to break that slipstream. Are we going to see carnage right at the end of the race? I don't know. Oh. Oh, hello. Have we got 1 more after this one? Have I just hyped that up? I don't know. Is this the final lap of the Indy 500? I could not tell you. Either way, it is looking crazy at the front. They're fighting like it is. Up over the line. I've seen a front wing. It's over. And they wreck down at turn 1. I think we might have got Lyle and Aaron. I don't know. But Francesco's going to win it by 4/100ths of a second over Alan in the end there. So congratulations to him. He looked a little bit sketchy throughout a lot of that race. But he has done it in the end. So I don't know whether we'll beat Aaron or Lyle. I hope we do. It'd be nice to have those freebies, considering we were the ones still running at the end of this. But yeah, congratulations to Francesco, though. We'll try and make sure that we just make sure we get all of our SR at the end of it. You know, that 1 extra lap, I'm sure, will make all the difference. And well, safe to say I judged the fuel beautifully as well there. But, you know, just going to try and make our way back round. Maybe if I... No, because I can't cross the finish line again, can I? Otherwise I'll get DQ'd. But maybe just by doing this. See, Aaron's now a lap down, so I'm hoping just by doing this,
Look out for the pit speed
the
limit.
game's going to give me it. I don't know, though. We'll take a look at our final race results as well. But yeah, gutted with the fact I got taken out. But, you know, that's Indy, unfortunately, sometimes. Not like you can really do about that. Don't know whether it was trying to give me one extra lap. I don't know. We'll take a look at the final results. But yeah, gutted for us. But we did make it to the finish, which I guess, you know, we can be, you know, we've always got to be happy to try and do that as well there. But yeah, let's take a look at those gaps quickly. It was, yeah, Francesco by 4/100ths of a second in the end. 4 cars covered by half a second in the end. But yeah, it's saying we came through for P9. So I think that might be the case, but you never know. Perhaps because I did the, you know, the in-lap. Oh, I'll get the freebies. I'm living on hopium. Well, there we go then. We gained somehow 0.14 SR on 43 iRacing. So it goes to show, even when things go badly, you've just got to try and stay there to the end. Unfortunately, yeah, it is only P9. We don't beat Lyle or Aaron then. So one more lap, and it would have made the difference there. I mean, I feel that's a little bit harsh, considering, obviously, you know, we were actually still out on the track at the end of that. But yeah, I mean, Paul taken out early on and still able to come through for P6 in the end there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. I've got no idea, maybe it's Spa 24 is the next special event I'm doing. That should be good fun. But yeah, we'll be back probably tomorrow actually, yeah, with another hot lap guide.